been listening to is the fact that it doesn't seem like people are talking about, no matter which side you might want to be on, the reality that role doesn't exist and shouldn't exist.
Yeah, it should be possible for us at some point to have a governor who is single, whether it's a woman or a man. And so we won't want to be saddled with a first boyfriend or a first girlfriend. And in the case of the woman who governed Anambra State, Mrs. Etiaba, she was a widow at the time, so she didn't have a husband. But she had sons who are distinguished in the legal profession and in business and so on. But we wouldn't want to have first children either, okay? We're not running a monarchical system. Mm-hmm. We don't have a queen. We don't have a king. Nigerians elect a governor. They elect a president. And they look to these heads of the executive branch of governance to be stewards of their affairs. And so the whole idea that the spouse of the governor, of the president, then becomes, as it were, occupies a certain space to the point of making a nuisance and a spectacle of themselves is something that we really should push back against. In the case of Mrs. Obiano, initially I said I was distressed. When I heard this, I was actually traveling in South Carolina. My wife and I went there for a short vacation. And so as soon as I arrived at the airport, I saw 7 missed calls from a relative and from Nigeria. So my initial reaction is, wow, there's something wrong going on. And as I'm looking at this 7 missed calls, this relative called me again. And his first question to me was, have you seen what's going on in Anambra? I said, no, with a sense of trepidation, because I felt if this guy has called me 7 times, missed calls on WhatsApp, and then was calling me the 8th time when I just arrived at the airport, I said, there must be something tragic. So he told me of the slap. And indeed, the slap was tragic, you know. And so I've had the opportunity to speak to a number of friends in Anambra State, including those who are in political circles. And I was distressed to hear that the wife of the ex-governor, Ebelechukwu Obiano is her name, actually had a habit, you know, of slapping people. That she slapped so many people, including, I was told, the wife of the deputy governor in the presence of her husband. Okay. I didn't know what to make of that because, in my view, if you have a propensity to slap people because your husband, your spouse, is the governor, I don't think people should spare you the legal consequences. You know, people should report this. They should make a criminal case against her. And if a criminal case, if the police, the security, law enforcement agencies in Nigeria are disinclined to pursue open a criminal case, people should file a civil case to expose this behavior, this absurdity, this really ludicrous conduct. Okay, but to get to the point, the Constitution, did not anticipate that the spouse of the governor, whether it be a man or woman, should ever play any role in the public space. And so this was an official event, the inauguration of the new governor. All right. And from several accounts, Mrs. Obiano, the wife of the outgoing governor, had seen Bianca Ojukwu, who had, her husband, of course, was one of the founders of APGA, the All People's Grand Alliance, All Progressives Grand Alliance. Yeah. And I think that Bianca Ojukwu had a disagreement with the outgoing governor, and may have withdrawn herself from that circle, perhaps even worked against Soludo, who was the candidate of APGA in the November 6 governorship election. But whatever happens, she was there as a guest of the new governor for the inauguration of the new governor. The wife of the outgoing governor sees her and decides that she must go in her face and ask why she had come when she was against the party and so on. So that kind of conduct, that kind of recklessness, that kind of shameless conduct becomes possible because, in a sense, we have allowed the notion that the spouse of somebody in power also has power or should exercise power, and it shouldn't be that way.
Yeah, 100%, man. Leading into what you're just saying,